Hi friends, I'm Anna Helman, and I'm so glad to have you with me today. I want to share a quick and easy tip that you can use on any of your card projects to add some texture, just a little something extra when you need a little something on your project and you're not sure what to do. This is a great technique that you can try anytime. I hope you'll stick around to the end. I'm going to share about something that has helped me in life more than anything else, and I would love to share it with you. Let's get started. The technique that I want to share with you is the one that I used to add the texture on all three of these cards. So here on this card, you can see that I added it to the card base before I put this piece on top. On this card, I added the texture to the corners. And on this one, I added it kind of in a strip right here behind where my greeting tag was going to be. So I want to share with you how to do this. It's just really quick and easy, and I know you love to try new things on your card projects. I love to add texture to cards, whether it's real texture or just the illusion of texture like it is on these cards right here. And I think it just adds so much. Sometimes I've actually crumpled up pieces of my cards to create actual texture similar to this. But today we are just creating the illusion of texture with none other than a piece of wax paper wadded up into a ball. So I have several of these here, and I am going to do this with several different colors on this piece right here. I want to show you how I did it. It's very easy, not complicated at all, but we'll just show you quick and you'll know exactly how this works. You can try it on your own cards at home. Now, when you crumple up the wax paper, you want to try not to get, if you end up with a bunch of flat area on one side, kind of like that, either kind of rearrange it so that you have it nice and nice and crumply, okay? So I thought this one, it would be fun to do several different colors. So all I'm doing is inking this on my ink pad and then bring it to my card to add that texture. I tried this with aluminum foil, but I wasn't pleased with the look. I think the wax paper does perfectly. So now if you want to switch colors, you'll have to decide if you can clean this off on, this is my chamois that I use all the time. You'll have to decide if any of the ink gets back into the crevices. You may not be able to get that out, especially if you're switching from a lighter color to a darker color, like my yellow to my green here. I don't see any problems with that. I probably wouldn't use one of these with a darker color and then switch to a lighter color just to make sure I don't get that ink on my ink pads. But we'll go ahead and switch. I made up several of these, so I want to add, this is my Granny Apple Green ink, but I thought some nice bright colors with not really mixed together, but several of the colors on here I thought would look really nice together. And last but not least, we will add some Poppy Parade. This is going to be a birthday card. I have a tendency to choose very feminine colors on a lot of my cards, so I purposely chose colors on this one that could be used for a man or a woman. So now that we have this created, I'll bring in the piece that I stamped to put over top. Isn't that fun? You don't have to have tons of stamping supplies to be able to try a lot of different things on your card projects, and this is a great example of that. So here is the piece I made to put over top. I made all of these cards with this Hooray for Surprises set, and there's a fun surprise I'm going to show you here in a second. Here's the coordinating die set that goes with it, but this is a really unique set, especially when you use the dies with it. And I do want to show you here in a second something fun you can do with it. So just a really simple birthday card. I'll probably add a couple of gems to this just to add a nice finishing touch, but examples of how you can use this fun texture technique really quickly and easily. This is something I really like to do when you add the texture over top of whatever else is there. So several card examples of this. Now let me show you this really fun card that I made with this set as well. And I don't have it all sealed together for a reason. Let's look at this die set. I'll show you here in the stamp set, we have a stamp that says pull and we have one that says open here. If we look at the dies in the set, this heart and both of these word bubbles cut most of the area, but then there are little areas where they are not going to cut through. Same thing with this long strip one with the bubbles. So what does that do? Here, let's take a look at it right here. So I used I used the heart one. It cut most of the heart out, but if you can see, there's little areas still holding it in place. Here you can see it's popping up some, but it's still held in place by a couple of little spots. I stamped the pull stamp here, and I didn't want to put this together because then I would have to ruin the card to show you how it works. But imagine if we pull right here on this flap. Once I have all this attached down, you pull that, what is going to be revealed underneath? This cute little heart sending you lots of love stamp. And then I have decorated the inside of the card as well. So that is what this set is made for, that you can put a fun surprise under either one of these or this heart die or this big pull tab. And then you can use the stamps that say pull or open here and have that fun surprise underneath. So lots of fun card ideas made with the Hooray for Surprises set. Flip my camera around. I want to share about this thing that has helped me so much in life. So just a few minutes before I started recording this video, I finished. This is kind of a big deal for me. I finished reading the Bible the entire way through for the first time in my life. I'm not proud to say that I have reached my current age and never read the entire thing, but I'm so thankful that I finally made this a priority to read the entire thing. I know those of you watching are coming from a lot of different places. I have some strong believers that I wish I could hang out with you and learn all the things you know from you. And we have people looking for hope, and we have people who are adamantly opposed to what I'm talking. We have people coming from all different places. But when life got really hard a few years ago, I've always had faith, but I had never made it central in my life. And I decided at that point in time to make it central. And I'm so thankful I did. I have had very spiritual encounters since then. Only when I'm making it a priority in my life, only when I'm slowing down and taking time to read my Bible and pray. And sometimes I'm fasting and doing these different things, but that is, if we are waiting on God, if we're waiting on a higher power to come find us, that is not typically the way it works. This book answers a lot of questions. It says knock and the door will be opened. Seek and you will find. It does not say I am going to come and run after you. But the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because it took me probably 2 or 3 years this time to read all the way through. Now, I'm going to admit there were probably months at a time where I did not open the book and read. So it would not take nearly that long if I was making it more of a priority. And that's what I want to do in the upcoming year. I have decided I want to read it again in 2025. So because I'm done, I think I'm going to get a head start and start now reading ahead a little bit. But in my regular Bible that doesn't have added study materials, I did the math. It's 3 pages per day. If I read 3 pages per day, I'll be able to get through the whole Bible in 2025. So I would love to invite you to do this with me. I am not offering any kind of like guided readings or anything like that, but if you search for read the Bible in a year, you're going to find all kinds of resources. Actually, I found one, I believe there's a reading program I use the Bible app by YouVersion. Really like it on my phone. There's a plan in there. You don't even have to have a physical copy of this now that technology exists and we can have it on our phones. Having the real copy is definitely a good thing, but we can access it on our phones too. So anyway, there's lots of different things. I think the Bible recap is one that I'm not exactly sure, but I know she offers a lot of resources for summarizing things up after you've read it. But if this is something you've never done, or maybe it's been a little while, or I hear from so many people that, you know, I've read this passage however many times in my life, and this time when I read it, it just had a completely different meaning to me. So no matter how few or how many times you've read it, I would love to invite you to read it with me during 2025. If reading the whole book is like a goal that just isn't going to happen for you, but you would like to make it more of a priority to spend time here and learn about it, make yourself a different goal. Make yourself a goal of 1 chapter per day. You know, chapters aren't like a chapter in a book. Like a chapter is not very long in here. Like 1 chapter per day, or maybe just start a devotional and focus on 1 scripture per day, along with some kind of reflective reading with that. But join me. Living in this world is a challenge, right? There's a lot going on around us. There are constant attacks on our minds and our bodies, in our marriages, in our children, in our families, in our friends, and all the things on our schools, our government. And this has helped me more than anything to be able to keep myself centered and respond to this world I live in instead of reacting. Right? Especially with our loved ones. Well, with everyone, we need to learn to respond on purpose instead of react. There's lots of things trying to get us to react. So join me. Let me know if you're going to do this with me. Put a comment down below. I would love to know who is going to join in. And we'll see if this can make a difference in our lives in 2025. I believe it will. Have a blessed day. I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to handmake with love.